All right, Fantasy Football Astrology channel, what's up? We're back. We're digging the fantasy football information. It's only one day before the draft. I hope y'all are as pumped as I am. This is so exciting. Been digging this for a long time. The league's going to change quite a bit, and we're going to figure out why, and I'm excited about that. Okay, so Cleveland Browns. This is a really interesting team this year, guys. They are, I titled this video, Super Bowl contenders, okay? With Myles Garrett on the edge, and after signing Jadeveon Clowney, it's becoming more apparent than ever that these Browns are really pushing for a Super Bowl appearance, okay? They just signed their fifth-year extension on Baker Mayfield, okay? And so he's got 2 years left, and they've got the #1 offensive line this year, rated on PFF, okay? And so you're considering all these factors, all these defensive players. They got Greedy Williams, Grant Delpit. They're both coming back. They got Josh Johnson from the Rams, a great safety. I mean, they're just adding pieces all over the place. Anthony Walker, they got another linebacker already. So these guys are in a really like a win now mode, and it's kind of interesting to try to break them down. So I'm just going to kind of show you guys. They have 9 picks in this draft, okay? They're picking at 26. I don't know if you can see the board here. They're picking at 26, okay? So they have 9 picks. I really think that the Browns are a prime trade up candidate, interestingly enough. And so I'll break the astrology down on the team, let you know what I kind of think about it, how I think it's going to shake down for fantasy football purposes, and kind of throw some different suggestions about what could happen in the draft and kind of what I would like to see happen, right? And so I don't have any personal stock in the Browns. I'm not a Browns fan necessarily. I do think they're a very interesting team to watch, though. So we'll get right here into the owner. They have a woman as an owner. Dee Haslam is a Cancerian, okay? That's a water sign. Cancers are good at creating a community creator, okay? And so what is the theme in Cleveland right now? And I want to harp on this a little bit, is that, and this is what's going on in the NFL. If you got a rookie quarterback on the rookie contract, you can afford all of these acquisitions. And it feels like the Browns just have like an endless salary cap where they just keep signing people, and some of their draft picks are coming out. And you know, they're securing Baker Mayfield and Denzel Ward, and they've got Myles Garrett. Now they got Jadeveon Clowney, and they signed, who's that right tackle? Jack Conklin. And so it's probably, the only way I can see they're making so many acquisitions like that is they got Baker Mayfield on a rookie contract, okay? So I'll bring that into a full picture about why that kind of makes sense, okay? So they've got Barry as their GM. He's an Aries, okay? I think he's a pretty new GM. Maybe it was last year was his first year. So looking a little bit further, Kevin Stefanski, their head coach, he came from Minnesota. He's a Taurus, right? He's an offensive-minded coach, and he loves to run the ball, okay? We're going to see a theme here. What happens when you have a really strong defense and you got a coach like Kevin Stefanski and you've got astrology like this, okay? Alex Van Pelt, also a Taurus, right? Tauruses are a grounded sign. Grounded signs is kind of funny. Do they like to run the ball, keep things grounded, right? Nick Chubb is a Capricorn. They're all earth signs, right? We already know Nick Chubb is fantasy. We're following fantasy football. We already know Nick Chubb is an excellent player to have. Looking at the astrology, I see this just to really continue. So let's just check out their offense real quick. You've got Baker Mayfield as an Aries. Okay, Peyton Manning was an Aries. All right, I think these are two really different type of people, right? Baker Mayfield is more of a dog. He's more of a gamer, whereas Peyton Manning was more cerebral. He made the smart decisions about where to go with the football, and so Peyton Manning was more mental, right? And Baker Mayfield's just more visceral, maybe. Um, so this is what we have. We have Baker Mayfield as an Aries. Interesting spot for a quarterback. But guys, right, I've been telling you guys about anybody who will listen, I've been telling, don't pick Odell Beckham. Fire does not go to water, okay? It's not a good match. I've been warning people about Odell Beckham for a couple years. If you understand the astrology and you look back when he was getting like 12 targets a game with Eli Manning, they have really good astrology. Eli Manning's a Capricorn. Odell Beckham's a Scorpio. That's earth and water. But fire and water, Baker Mayfield to Odell, I'm not going to do it. That's just one reason to not do it. And he's shown it's like, he can be really hit or miss. Last year was the first year he really started producing up to his draft value in fantasy. So that's the type of stuff, when you see these connections going on, it's really a big red flag for me, okay? And I've avoided that. In fact, Odell Beckham last year was the only guy, I think within the top 10, I did a video and I showed the only guy that has an unfavorable astrology in the top 10 last year was Odell. And then he went out and he got hurt. Okay, so once again, I'm glad I avoided it. Okay, and who gets all the targets in Cleveland? You get Jarvis Landry here. Okay, another fire sign, Aries to Sagittarius. I mean, it's not the perfect transition from cardinal to mutable. You really want cardinal to fixed, but it's still the same element, which is super important, okay? And that's why Jarvis Landry's been getting all the targets for so long in Cleveland. I expect somewhat similar of a trend to continue. I just read an article. It said Baker Mayfield's out throwing balls with Jarvis Landry, Rashad Higgins, and David Njoku. If you look at Rashad Higgins, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry and Rashad Higgins, right here, Libra, that's his polar opposite. Those guys have good astrology. They didn't say he was out throwing balls with Odell. Maybe they're not drawn to each other. Maybe it's something that is just like, it's just not working, right? And people have been saying for a while, Browns should trade Odell. Maybe. If you're an astrologist, you're saying, yeah, that'd be good, right? Rashad Higgins, kind of an overperformer with Baker Mayfield, one of his favorite targets. They're polar opposites, okay? So one of the big things I'm watching for fantasy this year is Harrison Bryant, right? He was a rookie last year, and he has better astrology than Austin Hooper. And he had I think at least one game where he had a really breakout campaign, and we know that rookie tight ends really don't do much. So for a rookie tight end, he was a really interesting thing. So I'm keeping a close eye on Harrison Bryant this year to really emerge as that number one tight end. Okay, so for fantasy purposes, we know Nick Chubb looks excellent. Harrison Bryant is a really good sleeper to watch. I am continuing to avoid Odell, and so that's what you have there, okay? Now, for the draft, this is interesting. With Barry as an Aries, Aries is they have a warlike mentality. They're ruled by Mars. Okay, what I've noticed in Aries is that they'll try to pin people against each other. They're not even doing it really consciously a lot of the times, but they like to play these kind of like warlike games and see if they can kind of like use people and turn them on each other a little bit. And so it's not negative or positive. It's just kind of a tool that they have. So looking at this, I think the Browns really are a prime trade-up candidate, right? And I think they would do really well to get a guy like a Justin Fields or a Kellen Mond, right? They could probably sit at 26. Kellen Mond's going to fall because if they start winning this year, and they're probably going to have a really good year, Baker Mayfield's going to get really expensive, and they got a lot of people they need to pay. Okay, so if you got another rookie who's been developing, especially ones who have astrology that work, oh, Kellen Mond and Justin Fields both speak good languages with the coach. They're both on the emotional side of the zodiac. Okay, Taurus, Pisces, Cancer, Earth and Water. Okay, if they want to get Baker Mayfield help, trade up, get Jalen Waddle. Right? Do they have a lot of killer speed? Odell's speed is pretty killer, but Jalen Waddle's speed is really killer. And they can trade up. They can do it. They've got a lot of picks. They need to win now. Jalen Waddle, as a Sagittarius with Baker Mayfield, Jalen Waddle's going to be able to step right in and make explosive plays. So I could see them trading up for a Jalen Waddle. I would even recommend it, right? If they want to sit where they're at with their defensive coordinator, he's a defensive backs coach, Caleb Farley. If he could fall to them, or they want to trade up to get a Caleb Farley, I know there's a ton of concern around his injury, and they kind of needed defensive back. When Greedy Williams got injured last year, it really showed. So they want defensive back depth. Caleb Farley would be a match made in heaven with their defensive coordinator. Okay? So appreciate you guys. If you made it this far, thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe and comment on this stuff. Having a lot of fun here. I plan on doing a lot more kind of interesting dives on this stuff, helping you guys out as much as I can. I really enjoy it. Thank you once again, and cheers.